Well, joining us now for more on these debt negotiations, Tea Party favorite Senator Mike Lee, author of The Freedom Agenda. Senator, great to have you with us on such short notice. The leadership of both the Republican Party and the president not giving us much time tonight. Are you surprised that the Speaker walked away in such a manner?
No, I'm not surprised. This is consistent with what I've been hearing and with my own predictions that I've made over the last few days. Look, this is unfortunate, but it was entirely foreseeable, which makes it all the more unfortunate why today Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid decided to table the only plan on the table, the only proposal that had been reduced to legislative form and moved through half of Congress, passed by the House of Representatives on Tuesday night, and he tabled it in the Senate today. This is a plan that is supported by 66% of all Americans, according to a CNN poll released just yesterday. It's inexcusable that this was set aside in so cavalier a manner when we're only 10 days away from the end of the debt limit period.
10 days away. And you've just heard the president say, as I asked Rich Edson, I mean, he just said he expects the Senate leadership and the House leadership to appear at the White House door at 11 a.m. That's a little rough. You think there might be some blowback on that?
Well, I think there certainly could be, and I think you stated it well, Lou. This is a coordinate branch of government. These are not the king's subjects. They are certainly not pawns that he can simply move around a chessboard at his own will. That said, I suspect they will show up, and I suspect that they'll have more conversations. But I do have to ask the question, how has that worked out in the past, and why do they think it's going to work out any better this time? At the end of the day, we have a legislative process that involves moving actual bills through Congress, first through the House of Representatives in many instances where you have revenue at issue, and then through the Senate. But then it's submitted to the president, and then the president can make a decision. It seems to me that they may have this backwards, and maybe the reason these negotiations keep backfiring is that they're doing it in the wrong order.
Yeah, but if they are indeed doing it in the wrong order, this president and this speaker are doing it together. So in that respect, they are co-equal and co-responsible, if you will. The idea of simply tabling the cut, cap, and balance legislation, the only existing legislation that would raise the debt ceiling, we should point out, is there any possibility? This president has moved from nearing an endorsement of the Gang of Six proposition, I will call it that because it certainly is not legislation or anything near legislation, to now embracing today the McConnell-Reid, as you and I have discussed previously, efforts to, if you will, provide for cover for Congress. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm strongly opposed to that. I'm strongly opposed to anything that would raise the debt limit without imposing permanent, structural, binding spending reform to fundamentally change the way Washington spends money. We've got to get to the underlying symptom of this problem that put us here to begin with. As I explain in my book, The Freedom Agenda, we're not going to get out of this mess until we restrict Congress's borrowing power. And that's why the Cut, Cap, and Balance Act was so important. That's why it's all that much more tragic that it was tabled today.
Senator, I knew I'd heard that somewhere, and now I realize where it was. Thank you very much. Senator Mike Lee, we appreciate it.